What are you starting to like less the older you get? Getting up at 5 in the morning to have a leak. I did that this morning. I'm just happy I was able to go back to sleep for another 2 hours before getting up for work. Lack of leisure time. When I was younger, it wasn't a deal to go from work to gym to home to right back out half an hour later to bar hop or movie or something. Now it's like work. Aw hell, gym? Not even half an hour to chill, no. After gym I'm not doing the rest of the night. Social media. I've already pared it down to Reddit and Instagram years ago, but honestly could do without IG too now. Anything with a lot of hype that requires me to stand in a long line. There is nothing I want to see, nor no food I want to eat, enough that it justifies my standing in line for an hour. Nothing. Working. Getting drunk. Politics. People. Getting drunk. My liver is feeling this one. Fake friendships. That my parents are getting older. Oh, this thought really depresses me. I can't imagine how I'll be when the only people who love me are gone from this world. I sometimes selfishly hope I leave before they do, if only so I don't have to grieve their loss, as if them grieving the loss of their child is somehow better. Loud noises in general. I've always been sensitive to loud noises, but it seems to have gotten worse lately. Dating scene and overall toxicity in it. Going to the damn grocery store. So many people have zero situational awareness skills that I feel like half the time I'm dodging people and avoiding busy aisles more so than I ever did. It is so mentally exhausting for me nowadays, and it makes me sad, because I used to enjoy it more. The way the internet is in 2022. Ads, subscriptions, paywalls, unhelpful sites with more pictures than words, and streaming service content split up between around 200 platforms, and most of the good content is exclusive to one, and never available elsewhere. On browsers, you have to have multiple extensions or the like to tell cookies, trackers, and ads to go away. For people in Australia, we're also geo-blocked, so we have to use VPN to get around it or turn to other means. Commercial radio is unlistenable, with the same 25 songs on repeat at the only 5 I can remember the channel for, and even that is preferable to the afternoon talk show of cackling, squawking gossip. I'm happy to pay a contribution to my group Spotify. I can have that going on my phone. Instead of listening to any of that, I can have long playlists, /my/ kind of music, and I don't have to pull over to change CDs. Changing phone service provider is simple enough on the surface, but then you also have to update your two-factor authentication, and if it's tied to the old number, which is out of service, you have to go in person to a store or office, or call customer support. For each instance. Those are the most prevalent grips I have with modern life. It's all in regards to what I watch, listen, or read, and the devices I do so on. It's this tangled web of interdependent, exclusive pushing, paywall blocking, subscription requiring noise that really does distract from more important, more healthy, use of time, energy and money. How fast time is slipping away from me rather than how slow it used to be as a kid. At the time the 4 years of high school felt like 8, and the 10 years since I graduated high school have felt like 4. I hate losing interest in things I used to love. Feel this, used to love video games, but now I can't stand more than 30 minutes of my favorite ones before getting bored. Don't know if it's a mental thing or if I'm just losing it, but it's wild that it happens so fast. Loud places. Like bars and parties and stuff like that. I don't understand pubs that can't decide if they want to be a club or a pub. People come just to have a burger, a beer and a conversation, and the place has speakers blasting music no one is listening to. Can only talk to the person just next to me. Just ruins the experience. Shopping. For anything. Including groceries. Shopping used to be fun. Now it is a chore. Driving. I used to drive to do fun stuff like pick up my friends, go places I wanted to be, or just cruise during the night and enjoy the air. Now I drive to work. Even though my car is a million times more fun to drive, I'm perpetually annoyed. Feeling like I've done all the right things yet the goalposts keep moving farther out. Crowds. I'm the guy at house parties that sits outside by the fire pit all night. Social events. The mental preparation beforehand followed by the wide range of personalities at said event. Exhausting. Honestly, leaving the house, I used to be a social butterfly and now I have to convince myself to go get basic necessities and go to work. Alcohol. It's getting harder for me to bounce back on Sunday fundays. So much so that I moved them to Saturday. The fact that 2 beers doesn't get me drunk, but does get me a hangover, makes the whole thing feel very not worth it. Contrarians. A lot of people dislike stuff simply because it's popular. They think it makes them edgy and cool, but they just seem like defiant teenagers to me nowadays. Having social interactions, even going out with my friends, is tiring. The world in general, it feels less and less like it has anything to do with me, more alien and absurd with each passing year. Perhaps that's natural for a creature that is closer to death than birth. Small talk. Junk food. I can tell when I'm malnourished and it feels good to eat vegetables. People. Do not stay in the service industry longer than 10 years. It really changes your perspective of how we live and the system we are in, USA. As much as I hate to say it, video games. Not that I like them less inherently, but it feels like as an adult, I'm entering into a long-term relationship every time I start a new video game that I don't have time for. The pile of shame for unfinished video games is real. Social media. It's a literal biblical level plague. Getting out of bed. Roller coasters. The more I see how little people care about their jobs, the more I questions how well put together those things are, especially at fairs and carnivals. Getting older. Dating. I just turned 40 and I feel like I may never find someone. Apps. Everyone and their mother has to have an app to download for every little thing, especially if you want to use a coupon, or earn rewards, or whatever. I'm tired of places asking me to download an app. I don't want your app, I just want to buy your, and be done with it. Ignorance. It's almost always harmful and, at some point, seems willful. Huge gatherings of people. Parties are cool. But like festivals, concerts, anything where people are shoulder to shoulder and packed in somewhere, no thanks. People with huge look at me. Life of the party personalities who have no off switch. I spent my younger years seeking friendships/relationships with this type of person, maybe because I wished to be more like that, but after years of being the supporting sidekick bestie to a series of main characters, I find them exhausting. My other answer was doing anything at all, but that's probably depression. Unnecessary noise. People. Staying out late. Phone calls. Crowds. My sleep cycle. Holidays. As kids it's about opening presents and eating, but as adults you need to be the one to cook the big meals all day and buy the presents for everyone. Halloween was getting excited about dressing up and getting free candy, but now it's about buying candy to give away and maybe buying an expensive costume. Going to work. Working in general. Scenes in movies. Yeah, then what happened? Teenagers. I can't believe I turned into that guy who peeks out the window whenever he hears a skateboard. Loud anything. Music. Vehicles. Movies. People. Animals. Deciding what to cook for dinner. You want chicken and chips? Great. 3-course meal? Great, just tell me what you want to eat. Staying out late. I rarely get FOMO anymore and would rather leave early or just stay home. Being in a relationship. It was so easy to walk away from my last one. I remember being so upset when a relationship ended even just 5 or 6 years ago. I have cancer now, so it'll be pretty hard to find someone else, but it's so weird. I don't even care. It's so much more peaceful being single. It may not be as fun, but the fun parts of my last relationship weren't worth nearly as much as having peace of mind most days. I'm also fantastic at, so, that helps. How I look. People. The general public, me off more every day. No manners, loud and entitled as hell, rolling eyes face. People. Alcohol. The government. Hey, thanks for subscribing and liking. It really means a lot to me. While you are here, feel free to hop on over to the last video. See you there. Ronnie.